Andrea Currie, and I found this great deal on these mini gourds that actually had the cords attached to them. So of course I had to buy them, which means I get to play around with gourds on the show. And that is a lot of fun because I have acrylic paint, which I'm going to be using, and then these cute little mini gourds, which come just in time for Thanksgiving to put all of my guests' monograms onto them, and then they can take them home as little ornaments or keepsakes or whatnot. You can find lots of fun decorative ways of doing gourds. We're just going to do a very simple acrylic paint, and then we're just going to put a rub-on transfer of a monogram on there. Super easy to do and really fun. And I'm even keeping it somewhat clean by having an ornament holder here, as you can see. I have 2 acrylic paint colors for this project. I usually recommend 2 or 3. 3 is a really good number to use when painting. You're going to get a lot more dimension. But the 2 colors that I'm using are actually just a brown from Folk Art, and then I also have a metallic, it's a gold, this really pretty gold. I'm trying to look for it. Where did my gold go? I have a gold, oh, it was hiding. I have a gold right on over here from Craft, and this is Craft Smart. This is a key element, and you know, doesn't matter what brand it is, it's a key element to have some sort of a metallic. Now I'll show you the difference between having a metallic and not having a metallic. So let's show you here. This is with a gold on it. This is not. It has the monogram on it, but it doesn't have the gold on it. So you can see the difference between the shines there. So always recommend using a metallic, and then of course you're going to finish this off with an acrylic sealer. You can buy those at the hardware store. You can buy a satin or a glossy, and they come in spray paint for the most part. I think they might have a brush on, but of course spray paint usually ends up being much easier. Let's get rocking and rolling into some painting here though. It's a little less talk and a lot more action. So I'm just using my brown coat first, and I'm just going to kind of lazily paint that on. Now you can see I'm just kind of holding on to the tip here so that I have some control over how I'm painting this. If you have gourds that you fall upon and you don't really know how to paint them, you do have to make sure that they're clean, and that's usually recommended that you just clean them off with a little bit of warm water and soap. They have to be perfectly dry before you do any sort of embellishing, and there's lots of websites on how you can paint and decorate and embellish different types of gourd art. Lots of resources out there for that. This is a very simple introductory lesson into this because Andrea just happened to find herself some gourds, and why not just show off some gourd painting? Alright, so I'll show you how easy it is. Even I can do it. So I just did that first coat, and then to make it look less brush strokey, I know it's going to be hard for you to see that there's a lot of brush strokes on here. I want it to look a little bit more organic, so I'm just going to go through and sort of pop it with my brush. Just dab, 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 just to create some more texture in there and break up those brush strokes. Sometimes I even go through with my hand when it's sort of getting a little bit tacky on the paint. Go through with my hand and actually take some of the paint off, and that adds a nice little texture as well. So that's nice and sort of textured. It's very, very glossy, as you can see, but it's going to dry pretty dull like this one that I added orange and brown to. Now, I also need to go in with my gold, and I'm going to do that right now, but I do want you to wait until it's completely dry to go in with your other colors. You can mix it a little bit if you really want to, but I'm just going to go right in, dabbing my gold around, and you can see that I'm working that all the way down there, and that's just going to kind of lift up some of the brown and then add the gold. Of course, that's because the brown is still wet, and it's really going to create a neat, pretty sheen once it's done drying. So, and it doesn't have to be uniform. In fact, because it is a gourd, it shouldn't look uniform. You should have different splotches and all kinds of stuff all over the place. So you saw the difference between that gourd originally. It was kind of a bright, bright color. Now to this really aged, textured, and when it's done, it's going to look really pretty gold like this guy. Here, look at that. So that's what this one that I just painted is going to look like, this really pretty gold color. Now, of course, you can probably do this with some layers of spray paint, but if you don't feel like spray painting, I don't always feel like spray painting myself, then you can actually use this nice acrylic paint technique. And of course, you're going to get a lot more control over the dimension of it as well if you're using this acrylic paint technique. Now let's go on over to Craft Cam and I'll show you how to transfer a cute little monogram onto this very easily. And of course, you can continue to embellish this however you want to. Much like regular craft projects, you can use hot glue, rhinestones, whatever you want to it. Of course, just seal it with your acrylic sealer afterwards. All right, let's go on over to Craft Cam. So I have these two that are ready to be monogrammed. Now I have these rub-on transfers. They are called Starburst letters from Magnolia. I love them. They're very, very cute. Now, if you've never used a rub-on transfer before, it's very easy to do. You just cut out the shape or letter that you want. Comes with these two sheets, and it sort of goes on like a sticker that you just kind of have to rub it a little bit more to get it to go on. No embossing needed, sort of came off of its sheet a little bit there. And I'm doing a C for Cliff right on the base of this guy here. And these kits normally, these rub-on kits normally come with a popsicle stick. And that's because the popsicle stick is used to apply pressure evenly to your transfer. And it's as simple as that. So if you don't have a heat embosser or anything like that, don't worry. These are very easy to use and easy to come by as well. I mean, Michael's or craft stores across the world have rub-on transfers all over the place. So there you go, a C for Cliff. And that is as easy as it is to make a personalized gift for your guest on Thanksgiving, and or just have a nice little embellishment or crafty item hanging around to warm up the holidays for you. You can see the difference between this muted one, which can have its own beauty, and these nice glossy metallic ones, which I used this really pretty gold, metallic gold on. Okay, so that is that project. I hope you enjoyed having a fun gourd time with me. I'm sure there's going to be lots of jokes about me being out of my gourd, but that's okay because I totally admit that I am. Crafty and loving it, people. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Talk to you later.